Yeah, not many people are accepting of other people's differences. A lot of people are hostile towards things that they don't understand. Good day, and welcome to Queenship's Live. And this is your host, Queenship, where we talk about transformation, where people who are beautiful on the inside and out are always welcome. So today, we're going to be talking about Muslims and my experience in being a Muslima. It was hijab day the other day, and I just wanted to talk about it. Now, I didn't grow up in a strict Muslim household. My dad doesn't practice, and my mom converted when she was 24, after she got married to my daddy. My papa practiced. He was a practicing Muslim. I'd always see him at the masjid. But when I entered into public school, I stopped wearing my hijab. My mom, she wasn't strict about me wearing the hijab, and because people can be a bit harsh or cruel, I never felt comfortable wearing my hijab, so I never really allowed myself to experience what it was like to be a Muslim young lady in the public school system. Now, the first school I went to was a Muslim school, so my first few years in school, I was wearing a hijab. Then my dad transferred me over to this public school, and I dressed like everybody else. And it was the first time that like in retrospect, the uniform was inappropriate. Coming from a Muslim school, wearing a skirt that was above my knees and having my arms out and no hijab was inappropriate. It's very uncomfortable, but people are used to it, so it's normal. I've only seen one Muslim girl my whole life at a public school. She was high school, and she was in a 3 years below me. And people only know that I'm Muslim because of my last name. Like, if they know Furqan is a Muslim last name, I always get asked if I'm Muslim. And I bring this up, one, because I had a sense to bring it up, and then a friend of mine from Lebanon that I randomly met during the summer, and she's like, it was a random meeting, and I thoroughly enjoyed talking to her. We have so much in common. Common. That was crazy that we ran into each other. And she happens to be a Muslim. And her daughter, she had dropped this video of her daughter, and it was this ceremony. It was called a taklif. And it's where a young lady becomes a woman, she starts to wear her hijab. And after watching that, I knew I had to talk about it. I was uncomfortable wearing my hijab in public. I was uncomfortable overtly being an overt Muslim woman. I gradually got into it a few years ago, in my early 20s, probably around like 24, 25, I started really wearing my hijab more frequently. And I'm kind of glad that I did that, because I don't know if I was in the right. I don't think anybody's ever really ready to be bullied. But there was one time where I was working. I used to work in the army, former lance corporal. And this was during COVID. I was basically living up there. And it was Ramadan. So I had to pray 5 times. I had to practice my religion. I had to engage in Ramadan. And a lot of people didn't know that I was a practicing Muslim. A lot of people didn't even know that I was Muslim. I worked there for 5 years and nobody knew that I was Muslim or practicing. I had practiced it before. There was another time where I had to practice Ramadan. And some guys were rude. I had one guy, like, imagine Ramadan, you haven't eaten all day, and somebody, I don't know if it's a threat, I don't know if this is considered a threat, but somebody says, "Oh, I'll knock your food out your hand." I had just gotten my plate, and somebody's talking about knocking, you ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is my first meal of the day. And you're talking about throwing my food to the ground? And then there was a situation where when they found out that I was practicing Ramadan, they took my lunch break away from me. Because I wasn't eating lunch, but I still needed a break. Working in the sun all day, you still need a break. So they had me working all day, no break. So this was later on in life. I was already in my 20s, so I feel like I was equipped to handle whatever came to me because I'm Muslim. I didn't want to go through bullying or whatever in school, so I just never wore my hijab. And I didn't have to. It was a choice, and I chose not to. It's not a fair thing. So I only felt what it feels like when people know that you're Muslim. I only got to know what that feels like later on, like in my 20s. So I never got treated like I was Muslim all throughout school. And school's not even really set up for Muslims. There's no safe space to pray. So if I do have Ramadan during a school season, during the school semester, there's nowhere to pray. There's no safe space to pray. So I just go all day without praying. And I would just not pray the two prayers that we need to pray. One during noon and one at like 2 in the afternoon. Same when I would work. I would just I did try, but it just never worked out. It took up too much time, and then they ended up taking my break anyway. So it's just I just didn't have the time to do it. And around 2017, I was a bit rebellious. Well, I don't know if it was rebellious, but because I didn't choose to be Muslim. I was born into it, so I questioned it. As you should, you should question things. You shouldn't just blindly follow certain things. You might end up falling victim or fall into this dogma that is divisive. So I questioned it, and I was curious about other religions, I wanted to celebrate Christmas and whatnot. And then in 2017, when I had to practice Ramadan by myself, the first time I had to practice Ramadan without my family, I had to pray by myself, because typically the man leads the prayer, so I never really got into praying by myself. I know how to pray, but I didn't know the sequence of the prayer. That's the first thing that you learn in Muslim school. You know how to pray, read, and write in Arabic. Arabic was my second language, so it was English and then Arabic. I forgot everything that I learned. I weren't in that school for that long. But I do remember my prayer. You learn how to pray properly. I've seen people have their elbows on the ground when they pray. There's literally a proper way of praying. Your elbows are supposed to be like tucked into your side. They're not supposed to be on the ground. But 2017 is when I started to take my religion more seriously. Translating the prayer. I wanted to know exactly what I was saying in English. I know it in Arabic, but I didn't know the translation in English. And I started reading my Quran more genuinely. I started to take my religion more seriously around like 2017. Must have been like 18 around that time. 18, 19. Had just joined the regiment. Had just joined the army. And then when I moved out to live by myself, is when I really started to build a relationship with God. believing in a religion or having a religion isn't enough. Doing the prayers and fasting and all that type of stuff is not enough. You have to build a relationship with God. That's the whole point of it all. Some people are too caught up with the fasting part. Maybe when you get over the whole not eating, and the not eating part becomes easy, maybe then, I don't know. Everybody's experience is different. Now, when I go through Ramadan, I use that as an opportunity to focus on my relationship with God. I've seen people become more greedy during Ramadan, where it's like, oh, I haven't eaten all day. We all haven't. There used to be order in the masjid where the elders go first. People used to be patient, or the masjid used to be different. I don't know what's going on now. Where the children would get told off for trying to get food first. It's a tradition of respect to let the elders go first and let the elders eat first. If the elders are like disabled or crippled, you're in line only to get their food. I kind of had the best of both worlds growing up. I grew up in the church and the masjid. At church, I liked the music. At the masjid, I loved the camaraderie. I didn't really have much to say about the hijab. Now that I'm wearing my hijab more often, I get acknowledged more by black men. You know, good day, sister, assalamu alaikum. You know, Muslims get a lot of respect, but it depends on who that person is. You know, if usually people are disrespectful, one, because they're disrespectful, two, because they don't understand. And there's so much fear-mongering around Muslims and Muslims being tied to being terrorists and whatnot. Believing that all Muslims are extremists. And that type of mentality is not even true Islam. I don't know the mindset of terrorists. And not all terrorists are Muslims. We're not going to get too deep into that, but there was a lot of fear around being a Muslim. After 9/11, it was like if people know that you're a Muslim, they get bullied. They will bully you. They will get you before you get them, and you could be minding your own business. I never wanted to go through that. And I've never had to. And even and now that I'm older, if somebody tries me, we'll have to leave that with God. They will be left in the hands of God. I don't tolerate disrespect. And it's nice to have a community. It's nice to have a support system. It's nice to know that there are people my age or young adults who are overt Muslims, and they have a pride. They have pride in being a Muslim. That's good to see. I went to school with guys who pretend to be something that they're not. The wannabe gangsters. And some of the Muslimas, Lord knows. The ones who are older than me aren't really great role models. Got kids and no man, no husband. No disrespect to females who do have children out of wedlock, but that's not a Muslim. That's not how Muslims go about things. That's not how Muslims go about things. We get married first. But I'm gonna take that as a sign to end your live. I wasn't gonna stay on here for too long. But if you got this far, thank you for listening. Tag a Muslim if you're a Muslim yourself. Let me know your experience of being a Muslim. I know in different countries is people's experience is different. There are some countries that are more accepting of the religion, have a lot of respect for the religion, and there are some countries that don't. But I'm a head out. Peace.